of an interesting day today. First, a client rang up recently with a slight problem with the bridge. He just couldn't get the bridge to stand up straight, and I stood it up, and that is how crooked it is. But I just kind of looked at the violin from the front. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Like, it looks fine, like a bit, maybe a little bit old or something like that. And then I turned the violin around. Check this out. And he hadn't noticed. So that happened. And then a client came in, and they'd had a buzz and they rang, but I was super busy, so they couldn't get an appointment quickly enough, and so they had another shop check the buzz. Now, I've taken the strings off already, but they said, oh, we'll just put in a new soundpost. So they put in a new soundpost, and the scary thing is it doesn't actually fit. Take a look at this. So there's that. Unfortunately, this place has done that before. The worst one was when I sold a new instrument to a boy, to a family, and it was sounding amazing. The boy was so happy, and they just went to this other place to buy a case, and the person at the place said, oh, can I have a look at your violin? And he had a look at the violin, and before he knew it, the guy had whisked it away and adjusted the soundpost. Now the violin came back and didn't sound that good anymore. Like, the boy had just bought it, like an hour before. But they were traveling from a long distance away, so they couldn't actually come back to get it fixed. So he was left with a violin not sounding the way he wanted it to sound for quite some time. It was so frustrating. He was so angry. Anyway, they adjusted the soundpost. These guys came in, went in to repair a buzz. They got a new soundpost instead, and the buzz was still there. So I checked over the instrument just now, and take a little look at this. So they replaced the soundpost when the joints were open, so the instrument still had a buzz. Anyway, I'm going to glue the joints. I'm going to look right around the instrument to see if there's any other joints. This violin actually has a super interesting history. So I'm just going to glue these joints, and then I'll be able to give the instrument a bit of a clean and polish, then do a new soundpost, one that fits. The unfortunate thing is I've had experiences with instruments where people have put in soundposts that don't fit under so much pressure that it's actually damaged the inside of the top plate. So that's never good. But for now, I'm going to glue these joints, and then I'll just do the cleaning, polishing, and get the violin working again. So nice. And I'm going to get my glue. Oopsies. Alright, let's do this other spot up here. Now I'm just going to check around the whole instrument. I have this weird thing. I literally just gently run my finger along here, and I can hear by the difference in the sound of the finger running through whether the joint is open or unstable. There's a section just here that's a bit unstable as well. So I'm gonna run a knife into it and just see. Yep. See, you can see it was so loose it literally the joint just popped open here. It wasn't actually open, but it was so loose. I guess it's just experience, like I said, I've been doing this since the mid-80s. That's well over 35 years. Next year is my dad's 70th anniversary of being a violin maker. Can you imagine that? Oh my god, this is so loose. This just popped open all the way. Look, it's like all of it up to here. And they tried to fix it by replacing the soundpost. It's just ridiculous. Some places operate, and they look like a violin shop. There are violins hanging up. Everything looks nice. But They just don't have the actual trained makers. It's a problem here in Australia. I think it's a problem around the world. In Germany, I believe, to run your own business, you have to be a master violin maker. So you have to do a master's degree, which kind of makes sense. You actually get some business skills and things like that as well. Now I've glued these 3 areas here, and I'm just going to put the instrument aside to dry. So I won't even look at this violin till later this afternoon. Then I'll probably give the instrument a clean at the same time. Yeah, just get this. This girl is actually, she's a good violinist. She's very enthusiastic. She actually loves playing. She plays for fun. You know, like trying to get my kids to practice used to be a nightmare. And this girl, you sometimes got to stop her from playing to eat. So it's kind of nice. I love it when people are that enthusiastic, so I always try and really support that. I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to leave that to dry for at least 4 hours, probably longer. In our Australian climate, it's currently, the humidity is about 30%, and it's not that hot, but the glue will dry really fast. So I'll look at it later this afternoon. Good morning. So today I'm going to first have a sip of coffee. Now that's done. Tick that one off my to-do list. I'm going to get the violin and take the clamps off. I was going to do it yesterday, but I got so busy that I didn't. I also went and visited my dad, who had just built a brand new cello. He's just got such an enormous amount of experience, and he modeled that cello like it's a brand new model that seeks to control the wolf, but also have that really rich, beautiful sound, but a very clear carrying sound. And it's amazing. I just plucked the strings and the instrument just played. So it speaks so easily, you almost don't have to press down onto the strings with a bow. Just amazing. He really knows his stuff. This violin has an amazing story. I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a minute. It's an old German violin. Would have been, yeah, it's probably 1850s or something like that. Just take these clamps off. So there's not a lot more I'm doing on the violin today. I'm going to give it a bit of a clean and service, and then I'll also do the soundpost. So first of all, I'm just going to put a bit of water just to make sure that I can easily wash this glue off. So I use cold water first, and then I follow that by hot water. The amazing thing about this violin, it was actually owned by the great-grandmother of the player. They bought it during the First World War in Sydney. She just loved playing, and she had a friend who was a pianist. They had a long-term friendship. And she passed the violin on to her daughter, who was a good violinist. And she did quite a few competitions, and she loved to play the Chardas. That was her favorite piece. So the girl's grandmother was born in 1936. She got the violin around 46 when she was around 10 years old. For some reason she stopped playing in 1962. Yeah, and then in 1962 the violin got packed away, and it was a few years later there was a wedding, and the grandmother, they got the violin out, and the grandmother and her pianist friend played at the wedding, and now she hadn't played, literally at that time she hadn't played for probably more than 20-30 years or something like that, and it sounded a bit rusty at first, but within, you know, as the evening wore on, the playing got better and better, and so everyone just really enjoyed that. After that, the violin got passed on to the great-granddaughter, who is now playing it, and she really loves playing she does a lot of practice, and she's got things like that. So I'm trying to get this violin working, sorted out fairly quickly for her. So I developed a buzz while I was on holidays, and like I said, they went somewhere to replace the soundpost to fix the problem, which was not the problem. Try this quickly. It's a very dry day today. It's yesterday was 30% humidity, and I don't know what it is today, but it still feels very dry. So I've washed off all the glue. Next thing I'm doing is I'm gonna check the whole instrument for buzzers. That's how I check instruments for buzzers. I just very gently tap all around. That's the way anyone can check for buzzers. I'll just take these pegs off. Alright, I have given this a good clean. So that now needs to dry, and then next I will do the French polish on the instrument. I might just give the fingerboard a very light sand. There's a tiny bit of wearing. I've let that dry now. It's the afternoon. I've been out for my bike ride. So I'm just going to do some polishing. I'll let that dry, and then I'll fit the soundpost and get the strings on. And then tomorrow they're going to come and pick the instrument up, which will be nice. They're really looking forward to getting the violin back. Pretty amazing though to be able to play your great-grandmother's violin. One of the things I will be doing is I'll be putting a little bit of varnish on where I glued these joins, just to make sure they don't come open again. The varnish actually protects the joins from humidity. As you know, the glue can be, like, if there's extreme humidity, that's not so good for the glue. I'm just going to put a very thin line of varnish just along there. Okay, that's done. It's been polished, so it's just going to dry for a bit now. And and then I'll do some more polishing, and then I'll fit the soundpost, so ready for the strings. Exciting! Okay, I've just had a super busy day. It's evening, so I'm just going to fit the soundpost. Just got to check the length. I use a little tool like this to work out the length. But I can actually just use the original soundpost that was put in there. It's a tiny bit long, so that's actually good, because then I can I'll make it the same length and then shorten it down. Here it is. Now it doesn't actually fit, so I am going to make a new one. Got some soundpost material here. Just want to make sure that it fits in okay. Yep, that's not a problem. Okay, nearly there. I just have to fit it some more. I'll just take it out. Now I can put the strings on, finally. Fantastic. I'm very keen to get these strings on, and then I'm going to let them settle in overnight, and tomorrow I will give the instrument just a little try and optimize everything. Let's get these pegs working. Just going to pop the chin rest on, and then I'm literally going to hang up the violin, let it settle in overnight, and then tomorrow I'm going to do all the final touches. I am happy with that. I'm going to hang that up, let it rest till the morning, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is the day that the client's picking up the violin. I fitted the soundpost last night, and today I'm just going to take it to the shop and just try it out a little bit. I'm happy with that. It actually sounds nice. I'm going to just give it a very slight tap on the soundpost. just coming to pick up the violin in a second. I'm really happy with it, but hopefully they are too. The client came and picked up the violin just now. It is really special to him. It turns out that the mum played, but she died when he was 5 years old. So the violins become this really important connection to their story, their family story and their family history. It's so great to see that the violin's getting played again. The daughter really loves playing the violin, and funnily enough, she loves playing some of the favorite pieces that her grandmother used to play. Anyway, that's it for now. Look, if you have open joins or buzzers on your instrument, get them checked out like very quickly. I did a video on buzzers. Could be one of over 130 courses, so it's worth getting a professional to take a look at the instrument. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Remember to like the video. That kind of helps my rankings in the video. Also subscribe and hit the little bell, because when you hit the little bell, you get notifications next time I post a video. Keep making beautiful music, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.